Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
All right, here we go. Welcome to your Friday KVJ After the Show podcast. Hello, hello.
It's a big moment, Kev.
Yeah?
We're minutes away from pressing the button to buy the airplane tickets to Logan for me and Sweet Denny's.
Wow.
We're trying to find the best deals. Fuck.
How much you looking at right now for a round trip? For both of you?
$691 for two people, round trip, straight flights,
All right.
no changing planes.
But then I think I'm going to have to probably, as soon as we'll get to the airport, probably have to take an Uber to your dad's, which will be, unless we meet somebody and we drive together, but it's looking like I'll have to Uber. That's going to be at least $100.
They get in at 8:15, so that's
8:15.
not crazy time to catch an Uber.
Okay. I'll put the feelers out here today to the Logan peeps I got and see how enthusiastic they are for this project. And
Maybe they'll send a town car.
Yeah, where they can
I would be so honored if you brought some locals to pick us up. I have my Ohio story.
Yeah, I'll see what I can get.
Send the Cox brothers.
Yeah, they put me and Denny's through a Logan initiation. All right, motherfuckers, you don't go into town till you bleed.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, that would be an ass kicking I'm willing to take, as it's for the good of the show.
I mean, it's an ass kicking 20 years in the making.
As long as they don't
We've been
kill,
hearing Cox brothers stories for 20 years.
Don't kill me or Sweet Denny's. Don't hurt us to the point where. But if you punch me and a little blood comes out for the sake of the story,
okay,
I'm all in.
Well, we'll see what we can get together, but step by step, getting there.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the cheapest one we could find, Kev. Without with the amount of well, you're right.
There was Spirit, which was cheaper. Spirit Airlines was cheaper, but the times were wonky. And it's Spirit.
And all the bullshit you said about Spirit. You were talking such a gang of shit about... And then you go, well, you can take Spirit, it's going to be cheaper, but then you have to pay for this. They have to pay for that. And they have to pay for air.
You do. They have to upcharge you for every little thing. I mean, when you go on Spirit, you can't bring no bag unless you pay extra. You can't even bring like a carry-on.
And your boy's doing the fucking pizza carry-on.
I know. You got to bring a whole suitcase of pizza back and Kevin's toys.
Oh, my gosh.
You might need 2 bags.
Is it on your radar, your dad's radar, about the toys?
I haven't talked to him about it yet, but it won't be a problem.
Do you think he'd be into trying to go up there and find them, or would that be?
I think I know where they are. I don't think that he has to do anything tough at all.
That's how organized Kevin is. He still has shit in the section he put as a kid.
He's organized from hundreds of miles away.
Well, my dad had just recently had, because my mom was, like I said, on the verge of being at hoarder status. And my dad is a minimalist, and so he had people come in and just really says, like, take whatever you want, get it out of here. So
wow.
And I think he had mentioned, because he had sent me some of my KISS cards that I'd had when I was a kid, and so I think he kind of stumbled upon that and said, okay, anything that was Kevin's before. Just keep in mind, I didn't grow up in this house. I never lived there, so they're in a new house from when I left town.
Okay, it's just it's the hunt, it's the adventure, it's the not knowing that I'm excited about. Yeah, I'm into this.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, too, Southwest Airlines never charges for bags. So you can get that extra carry-on. You can buy it in Logan, fill it with all kinds of toys and stuff, and then come back with it, and you don't have to pay extra for that bag.
The Dirty Hippies adventure. I'm so excited for this.
It's going to be interesting. See what happens. Yeah. Fascinating stuff. People love them some Bigfoot stuff. We'd gotten an email here from Vancouver, Washington. I don't know if there's a photo attached to this. They said, I spotted a Bigfoot in the wilderness. Been hearing about this upcoming Logan Bigfoot trip, too. I thought Jaybird might like it. I have to track that down for you. They believe they captured one in the Great Northwest.
I love it. It's a Bigfoot sighting with a photo without the photo.
Yeah. I'm getting lost up somewhere. Let me see. You're talking about the Pete's Crossing. People also giving you recommendations for pizza over here a little bit more close to home. Sean said, tell Jaybird to check out Lutina's Pizza and PGA and the old Triangle Wood Plaza.
And I appreciate that. I will tell Jaybird back in 1994 when he was fucking crushing it at Lutina's.
Okay.
Panda still talks about Lutina's.
My family grew up on, that's one of our pizza staples. Lutina's has been around for a long time. I went to school with the kid that we used to, I don't know if they still own it, if it's changed management. It probably has. Everything seems to have changed management. They got really good pizza. Mm-hmm. I haven't had it in a while, and I hope it still holds up.
Yeah,
I know Panda does like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They're
they
very
say
good.
They do have really good stuff, and apparently they want to meet you as well.
Wow.
I love it. Yeah, Lutina's has been a big old fan.
Gina that runs it.
Yeah,
Gina Lutina?
Man, why does every pizza person have a rhyming name? There's other people. I can't say the names. I don't want to get into that, but I told you about the other one.
Tell me.
Never mind.
I don't read lips,
Yeah,
and
I know.
you have too much beard.
It doesn't work well. It doesn't work well on the radio either.
Amazing stuff.
That's awesome. Wow, Lutina's. That's a.
You're a power player.
I feel like it's somebody in this
This
town.
is when you start getting street cred.
I do like pizza respect. That's all I ever want in my life.
Oh, we'd love to meet him. Can you bring him in? Okay, I'll see what he can do. He'll try to squeeze you in this weekend.
It's amazing. I love
Meanwhile,
it.
he has no plans.
Bring it on. You guys act like you're busy though, Virginia. I got a couple other.
I'm a mover. I'm a shaker.
I got a meeting with the Domino's people.
And I don't know if you would like a mural, but this was suggested by Felix. Said I saw this mural and thought it'd be something Jaybird would like to put in his house.
Oh my gosh.
He don't have any more wall space.
I would make wall space because I'm about to turn my room into another whole dimension.
Sex den?
Yeah, I went all peaceful there with statues and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna retro that thing out too.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of space to do stuff in there. That could easily go in my room.
All right. If you're watching KVJ TV, got that photo up there.
If that's made out, I can't tell what that's made out of, but that has to be at least $1,500.
Sometimes you can buy a giant sticker like that and just stick it on the wall.
Roll it right out.
Those are super easy. It's like a piece of wallpaper.
You gotta be careful though, because sometimes when you do that wallpaper and that sticky stuff, it can give you little dicks in the wallpaper. You look around the wallpaper and you see small little phallic dicks. The
air bubble penises?
Yeah, the air bubbles turn into wall dick.
That's why I hired a professional wallpaper hanger. It's worth the money to get somebody who knows what they're doing to hang your wallpaper.
I have this 1977 vintage wallpaper that I want to put on a wall. But
Get a professional.
I do not want to do it myself.
And you don't want to just hire a handyman. You can actually go and do what I did. I found a girl up in Jupiter named Jennifer, and that's what she does. She hangs wallpaper all day. And it was her and her son. And they came and they didn't work fast, but they worked amazing. And she took all this pride in it. And she's like, putting up wallpaper is like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. And that bitch had every piece of the puzzle matching. Like you can't tell where the seams are in the wallpaper because she knew what she was doing, worth every penny.
Okay.
I don't want to poo-poo on your Friday, but you're getting called out a lot from the chat room. They're saying you're wrong about the airlines, something about how, Virginia, you're wrong. You can bring one personal item bag on Spirit Airlines.
You can't bring a luggage. You can bring like a backpack.
Look.
You got to pay extra if you want to bring a luggage. And I will fight you in the parking lot on that.
Okay, I'm just saying the chat room is...
I just was on the website. You can bring like a knapsack or a purse, but you can't bring a luggage unless you pay more. They nickel and dime you for everything on Spirit. Fight me.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
It is. She's wearing that murder red sweater. She got, that grandma red, that fucking little Red Riding Hood grandma sweater.
Grandma murder red.
Got a couple of little quick updates here. From today, the Rolling Loud artist or not. Apparently, it is Saucy Santana, not Saucy Santa.
Oh,
What a difference.
Oh, damn.
I like Saucy Santa better.
I do too.
Way better.
I love a saucy Santa. He's drunk.
Yeah.
He's groping girls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what everybody wants. Drunk say the groping girls. And you're the woman on the show? I mean, fuck.
Yeah, that was a segment on the regular show you can go back and listen to, Rolling Loud Artist or Not. I think there was Baby Santa, too.
There
wasn't
was.
Yeah.
Or is it Baby Santana?
I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know anything.
Everything's
anymore,
upside
Virginia.
down.
Was it Baby Saucy Santa?
And we're also talking about the cool thing you did when you skipped school. Somebody said, I skipped school to watch the Marlins play in a World Series game back in '97. Got to be part of their first World Series championship. Natasha sent that in. That's pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah, that's a good reason to skip school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't.
By the way, you can skip quite a bit of school and still nail it if you do it right.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's the best thing, but you don't have to be there every single day.
There was somebody that I think what was it, like 45 days, I think they said they missed because they skipped so much school, and they're returning now. So they're like, I guess it worked out. So, I'm all good. I got some comments. We were talking earlier about the Palm Beach County. It looks like law or ruling that is going to be going into effect here in the next couple of weeks, maybe is in August. And it is something which it sounds like it gives police the ability to chase off people from playgrounds. It really just allows one adult 18 or older. It's basically one adult per kid. So you got to have a kid there with you, or they at least have the ability to kind of chase you off and say, yeah, be gone. Don't know if it's to deal with homeless people, sex trafficking, or just people who are lurkers and making parents nervous. But Elena said, I read about the new law where you cannot go to the park unless you have a child. And as a mom, I am in disagreement. My father will be going to an assisted living facility across the street from a public park. He never goes outside, and I'm looking forward to visiting him and bringing him to the park. Are people really going to call the cops on a veteran with Parkinson's and dementia who want to take a walk in the park with his adult daughter? I would hope not.
No, I don't think they're going to do that.
I would hope not. I'd imagine, and keep in mind, I think there are just a lot of these laws that they have, which if you break it down, if somebody were insane in how they tried to police it, then yeah, you would have some problems. But I think it's just to give them the power of authority to be able to say, you got to move along. And I'm sure there's probably many stories that have come up saying, okay, how do we shape an ordinance that alleviates this problem?
I also heard, too, it's not going to be so much a park thing. It's going to be more if you're in the playground area.
It is, yeah. That's to clarify that specifically. You notice a lot of them have little playground areas, and they want to just keep it to parents and kids. So if you want to go chill and look at nature, and you're an adult and you're by yourself.
They're not going to tase your dad by the pond.
Right. But, so it's that creepy as hell looking dude who's sitting right there in the middle of a bunch of kids playing.
We've seen him.
And they've got their phone out, and the moms are like, are they taking photos of my kid? What's going on? And they get nervous.
It's still a terrible idea. It's going to cause many problems. If people aren't cool, it could cause many problems. It really could. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of things that could go wrong. That
it gives people, or at least law enforcement, a chance to go up if there's a complaint saying there's this guy here, I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't seem to be with a kid. He's on his phone. I don't know if he's taking pictures or getting a hold of somebody. We don't like it. We don't want to be here because of it. And, there are some stories like that girl who went to, what was it, like a basketball game, I think it was, with her dad, and she goes to the bathroom and they abduct her and she winds up in sex trafficking.
And their parents are the ones that end up finding her. They said they were so frustrated with how the law enforcement handled that because the sex trafficking, I guess it's really hard to kind of crack that down, and they got their own leads and chased them.
Yeah, I think they saw her like on a corner. They had already been, whoring her out on the street.
Oh, my God.
And that was it from an NBA. Was it an NBA game?
It was an NBA basketball game, yeah. And so you have those kind of stories, and that's where these kind of things get there. And it's terrible that you have to. And yeah, it's completely profiling, but they're probably trying to find a way that makes it so it's not as. It's just like, look, if you're 18 or older, you need to have a kid, or we can say something like, let's keep an eye on what's going on, or what are you doing with your phone, or why are you here, or can
get
you
out of here.
Can you just go sit at the table or park over there? This is supposed to be reserved for, parents and children. So that's what we're trying to do.
All I'm saying is, I love me a swing. As an adult,
in the bedroom.
I've never done the swing in the bedroom. I think I would go to. I'd go through the fucking wall.
Oh, can you see him? Yeah.
Hamburger hips. He'd swing too hard and take his window out.
These hips do fly. No, but in North Palm Beach, there's this beautiful swing set, and it's next to a playground. But you swing on there, and they're adult swings, and you're overlooking the Intercoastal. It's fucking
Daisy Park.
It's really a nice experience, and I do love a swing, but at least I don't look creepy. I don't think anyone would ever hear it, probably.
You look
After
like
they get this ordinance going, we can put Jaber on a playground and play How Long Will It Take?
I go there looking like this. I sit in the playground area and just start eating a sandwich and looking at people.
I think the moms kill you.
Oh, yeah.
They would be like, no, we're just going to take this one out.
Yeah, I'm not trying
He's definitely a pedo.
I'm definitely looking to not get into any arguments with mothers at a park. Not on my to-do list.
Got an update on a previous email. It says, I wanted to post an update on my previous email about my mother and her sister having kids with the same man and my cousins actually being half-sisters.
Whoa, that is confusing.
Yes, it is. Says, we drove to Wisconsin over the 4th of July week. During the 21-hour drive, my mother and I had a long conversation about what had happened. My mother finally opened up about the situation and told me the whole story. I'm keeping the conversation just between us, but I will say that nobody was cheating on each other. However, her sister knew that my mom was pregnant from this man and started sleeping with him after they split.
Oh, my gosh.
She ended up having 3 kids with him, and her and my mother have not spoken to each other since. Wow. I finally got the closure I was looking for, and I could tell my mother was grateful to get the weight off of her chest. I want to thank KVJ Nation for the ideas on how to have this discussion, and I want to thank the KVJ crew for taking the time to share my story.
Of
So,
course.
If you're wanting to know the update on that one, that's how it went down.
Everybody always feels better when the truth is out there and you can finally talk about it and hug each other and heal.
Unless you're a serial killer, you want to keep that shit under wraps, dog.
He's right.
But when they do get caught, that's when they want to go, okay, let me tell you everything.
Sometimes it's a relief for them, too. I've seen some of them that talk about it's a relief getting caught because they didn't want to be that murderer, but they couldn't help themselves.
I wonder if that's true. They're very self-centered, these serial
Damn,
killers.
the murderer played me?
Yeah, the murderer wasn't.
Played.
Imagine that.
Victim walking here.
Yeah.
I believed him.
I tied it back into murder, Kevin. Don't worry.
He always does.
I got this email here. It says, I'm recently divorced from a 14-year relationship with her I was with her from age 23 to 37. So right now that I'm back in the game, I have no idea what to do. I kind of forgot about how to human.
You gave her the best years of your life.
23 to 37.
That's good years, Kev.
Oh, I know.
Prime years, they say, Virginia.
Oh, Kev. Kev was killing it in those years.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's crushing it now, but
thank you.
you're welcome.
Doing what I can. It says, I had a date set up, but canceled because I just wasn't ready to do it. It's been 8 months since my marriage ended, and I'm not really sure how to move on. I don't have many friends here, so I'm even considering moving back to Brazil.
Oh.
Any advice from a big fan of yours, Lucas? Yeah.
You know, there's groups of people that are Brazilian. Go on Facebook, find like Brazilian groups. You can maybe find a group of people that live here that share a lot of your same experiences from when you grew up. Join like a fun Brazilian Facebook group in Florida.
Did you say, what was the 8 months thing? That was how long they've been.
It's been 8 months since my marriage ended, and I'm not really sure how to move on. I think the one thing that, they're doing that is tough is it seems like anybody who puts pressure on themselves to find a relationship or to get into one struggles, and it's tough. It seems like the people who are just out living life, doing interesting, fun things, improving upon themselves as a human being are the ones that wind up latching onto somebody when they least expect it.
And I would say, too, be a little kind to yourself. 8 months is not a long time. You're
That's
still
true.
You're still grieving. I mean, divorce, if you really love your mate, that's like a death almost. So be kind to yourself and don't put pressure on trying to find someone. 8 months is nothing.
You should be out there looking for fun and friends. And if anything happens, great. But you just need to go have experiences and meet new people and look for friendships friendship.
Big time. And when you get depressed or you get anxious about something, keep your mind busy with something fun you like to do. Even in the beginning, if it doesn't feel like it's working, stay with that cozy or fun, creative, whatever kind of project you get into. A busy mind can be good if it's busy and filled with creative, fun ideas. You want to be busy mind with terrible ideas.
Like Jaybird.
Fuck, whatever, dog. You couldn't last a day in my fucking mind.
Hamburger hips.
Hamburger hips or murder hips? Hamburger hips. I don't hate hamburger hips.
Wanted to get a ruling here on this email as to whether or not this was a passive-aggressive move by a neighbor. It says, we have a neighbor that we contacted about 3 months ago for a question about our solar panels since they had a solar panel business. Anyways, he stopped by one day while we were out and left a note, but we never followed up. Months later, today, we were walking our dogs with our 8-year-old daughter, and they were outside in the front lawn. They saw us and ran down the driveway and offered us some mangoes. We said definitely, since we love mangoes, and I'd actually been watching those mangoes get bigger each week. Then we get home and we look at the fruit in the bag, and they're all rotten. WTF, was this on accident or on purpose? I do remember taking a star fruit from their yard about a year ago, but it was outside their fence. I am completely baffled. What do you think? There's a photo of the mangoes. Now, I mean, there's a dark spot on it. I mean, it looks like you
Those aren't completely
carve around
rotten.
it. Yeah, I would think that you could carve around
Sometimes
that.
fruit from the yard doesn't look like fruit at Publix.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get perfect fruit from the yard a lot of times. Bugs get it. If it hits the ground, it causes damage. Cut off the part that's damaged, eat the rest, and stop reading into it.
Yeah, but just be careful because you can get worms and shit in that stuff. I've seen it happen before with my own ojos.
Okay. Today is National Mango Day, though.
Oh.
You said that one fruit in there.
Star fruit.
Man, I do like it, and I always forget that exists, but when I have a star fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to call it a starfish. It's something different.
If you're eating starfish, it's a different meal.
I like the
chocolate
texture
starfish.
in that.
You're eating chocolate starfish.
I like the texture of that.
I bet you do.
That starfish.
And butthole donuts.
I do love a butthole donut. Butthole donuts are the best. Just take that quote. Butthole donuts are the best, and then end the audio.
So, yeah, I don't think that seems like it's...
No, it sounds like they're just trying to be nice. I mean, mangoes from the yard are usually not perfect.
Yeah.
Where do I get this star fruit at?
They have it at Publix.
They don't.
I saw it yesterday, asshole.
That's that Cuesta shit. That's that bougie shit.
No, bro. I saw it yesterday. It's by the mangoes. It's by the pineapples. It's by the exotic fruits. I saw it yesterday because I almost bought it. Because I bought Magnolia a mango. I bought myself an avocado. I bought all kind of little fruits that I wasn't going to buy. Raspberries were BOGO.
Okay. She seems pretty convinced.
Are the Ralston starfish fans or star fruit fans?
Do you and Kim like to lick each other's chocolate starfish?
Yes, we toss each other's salad frequently.
Oh, it's salad. It's low in calories.
Yeah.
Tell me about you and your wife eating ass.
What if he started really going into it?
I'd be happy for
I
him.
would be so happy for
Look,
him.
You'd hang on every word.
I don't feel like Kevin would ever eat ass.
I don't either.
He's too clean.
I agree.
But I feel like he would also take it wherever he could get it.
But I also want my boy. I mean, I would if Kevin had an I ate ass story. I'm happy for him.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm absolutely happy for you.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
He would require so much cleaning of the ass.
Oh, you would be
before any eating.
Oh,
Neither
man.
one of you are. You're not good butt people. You guys just aren't. You, Saniki, just oh my gosh.
Bad.
Her.
She's a bad butt person.
Terrible butt person.
Now, is it her butt that's bad, or is it
No,
her approach to the butt?
It's her approach.
Okay.
Her whole her butt being bad as far as that's not what I mean. I'm saying her approach to anything that's not mish. Oh, Kev, he wants to get in my bushes again.
Ooh, what does that mean?
You know what that means. You know what
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
I am prissy. I will own it.
You are.
And talking about neighbors, we had the story from Martin County and Stewart. There's that neighbor that's doing all of his yard work and anything else outside completely in the nude, and parents are upset because their kids are seeing the naked guy, and they called Martin County sheriffs, and they said, look, as long as he's not touching himself inappropriately and he's on his own property, we can't do anything about it. And somebody had texted in and said, yeah, the new guy in Martin County, he's been doing that thing forever, so it's not necessarily a new thing. So maybe there's new neighbors who can't believe that they got a naked guy on the block.
That happens, man. The newbies come in, they try to change everything, and that's
Yeah.
where you get conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. You don't have to tell me about being the new person in the neighborhood that wants change.
Oh, they hate it. Yeah, because you're trying to change golf courses and what they can do with the land.
They hate me, and I love it when I see them because I know which ones hate me. So whenever I see them like out walking their dog or I pass them in my car, I smile real big and wave, and sometimes they visibly scowl, which makes me chuckle.
I wish we had video of the time Magnolia was having that birthday party and all the kids are running on the golf course. Not for that. It's when the head guy comes to Virginia's front yard. And I know I've told this story before. I just couldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe Mama was feeling it. And this guy could not believe that kids were running on a golf course.
Right.
He couldn't believe there were so many kids on a golf course.
There was about 60 kids.
He couldn't believe they were running in the holes. He couldn't believe any of it.
Yeah.
So when he finally gets to the front, Magnolia's got a posse with her. So it's this guy and then about 20 kids.
Yeah.
And then it's the Raging Cajun. And he's trying to explain to her about how you can't do it. We just can't have
You
this
just
guy.
can't have
You
kids
just can't
running
have
around.
it,
There are
Kevin.
golf balls flying around. If a kid gets dunked in the cranium, it could cause problems.
So she goes, hold on. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to tell everybody the whole... She makes this motherfucker walk to the party where all the kids are at. So now there's 60 kids. She's trying to hush them. Oh, kids, hold on. He got something to say.
Oh, no.
So now he's feeling like the biggest dick.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, kids. And they're being teenagers. All the dudes are like laughing behind the guy's back, fucking taunting him.
Yeah.
He goes, you guys just can't run on the whole area. There were fucking golfers.
green, yeah.
He couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then when he would ask her a question, it was something to watch.
Oh, I bet.
And then you go to the front, and then she's in battle with her neighbor.
Wait, there was another fight happening somewhere else?
Fucking next door neighbors. They hate her. She hates them. She's taunting them.
Good Lord, that's a lot.
Kevin, it was-
I play a lot of Cardi B, and they don't like
Kevin,
it.
I
They
was
don't like
there
the Cardi B,
I was
huh?
there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
When the guy took her away, and there was two people there I didn't even know. You start walking with the guy with all the kids. I'm like, man, that's gonna be uncomfortable. And the guy looks at me, hey man, I think you need to walk with Virginia and go with her. I go, I fucking know. I know I do. I know I gotta go with her. I know.
Sounds like quite.
Aren't you
quite a
glad you went?
scene.
Because now you have a story.
It
Yeah.
is a story, but it was so tiring. And she's my girl, so I have to fucking blood in and blood out.
Right. You're exhausted. Virginia's just gaining steam.
Oh, she was just getting. She was
Yeah.
sharpening up her broom. She was
Yeah.
ready to go flying the motherfucker.
With the pointy end.
Oh yeah.
Just getting this night cranking. Let me see. Talking about the party and stuff, it's kind of interesting. One of my daughter's friends, she had like cramps and wasn't feeling well, and thought, okay, maybe it's like the COVID or whatever, and took a test, and finally, after a couple days of just being miserable, went to the doctor, and he gave her a diagnosis. Thinks that maybe she had marijuana poisoning.
What?
Yeah. That's what he had
Marijuana-
told her. That,
I've been trying to do that for years, Kevin. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Bring me this girl.
The only way I can see this happening is if somebody went over the top with some edibles.
Yeah.
And they ate. They kept going, and they were just out of their mind, and they started to vomit.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of
Pot
crazy,
poisoning?
too.
When they work for the government?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what Caitlin was telling me. And, yeah, because I know we talk a lot about it, the legalization, and, Denny's lived in Colorado for a while, and that's a place where, you have the recreational marijuana. California as well. New York City now, lots of places have it. We just got the medical stuff here. And there was an article I was reading in the Hudson Institute that had published this about what is really happening in Colorado with the legalization of recreational marijuana. And they said, yeah, the taxation might be good and there might be a bit of a boon there, but it is causing an issue. And some of the things that they thought were going to happen when they legalized marijuana, it's kind of doing the opposite. They said they thought it would reduce the criminal element, reduce violence, and eradicate illegal drugs. But the data from Colorado shows the metrics in these areas have actually worsened. They said that Colorado has seen an increase in the black market manufacturing and sales of marijuana by cartels for distribution in other states.
Denny's! Kevin's reading a hit piece on pot.
It says more black and Hispanic people are being arrested today than before legalization. Beginning in 2016, Colorado was the only state with the highest rate of consumption for all 4 of the major intoxicants: marijuana, cocaine, alcohol, and opioids. They say the use of other drugs, such as meth and cocaine, is high, while the use of alcohol, often in conjunction with other drugs, has not diminished. So they said that they thought, okay, people would get on the weed and they'd forget the other ones, but they say that they've just increased their intake of all the others. They say Colorado is also first in the nation for the highest percentage of adults who need drug treatment but aren't getting it. So, yeah, it was like a whole bunch of stuff that they wrote up here.
Denny's,
All right, point, counterpoint.
Yeah.
Get in here.
Marijuana poisoning, Denny's?
Yeah, I've seen that where they say there's that marijuana psychosis you can get. Mm-hmm. I just feel like at this point I would have gotten it, right?
Yeah.
It's not from a lack of trying.
Yeah, I mean, there's days where you push it to the extremes, and I feel like I haven't gotten the psychosis. I guess maybe it's a thing that can happen with certain people.
What's the psychosis? What happens? You start seeing ghouls coming from the
I
pools?
think they say you lose your mind. Like, you go absolutely insane.
Like reefer madness?
Like reefer madness insane. That's what I'm saying. So when I saw that, it kind of feels propaganda.
It feels propaganda.
But I mean, when alcohol, they started prohibition because they thought alcohol was bringing organized crime. If you anywhere you have any sort of substance that alters your mind state, I mean, it's probably gonna correspond with crime, right?
Metal Beer Dance. Did the DEA sponsor this study? It sounds like they did.
It's the Hudson,
Read about
you can look it
marijuana
up.
psychosis.
It's
Does the Hudson have an agenda?
The Hudson Institute has it, and they say, look, these are just the stats. They
I never
say,
heard of this place.
Yeah.
well, then it can't be
Kevin.
legit.
Well, all I'm saying is I have been around pot people my entire life. People that are just I've never heard or seen this.
They're saying that this is the effects that it's happening on society in Colorado where you legalize marijuana. They say Colorado traffic deaths since legalization have also increased 24% overall.
Oh, it's a hit piece, Denny's.
Yeah.
It's a fucking
I don't
hit
know.
piece.
Yeah, it's just
The Hudson Institute is a conservative American think tank based in Washington, D.C., founded by military strategists and conservative Americans.
I mean, there you go.
Who are the number one detractors of making pot legal.
Although I do know conservatives that smoke weed too.
Of course you do.
For sure,
but
for
by
sure.
and large, supposedly, the Conservative Party thinks drugs are bad.
Well, so alcohol and related deaths, they correspond as well because a person has to be responsible with what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I mean, alcohol is a legal thing as well. We've just over the years have worked on raising the awareness to driving not under the influence. I think as marijuana is a new drug that more people are trying, it's something that probably just needs to be raised awareness as well. And then you'll probably have a decline in that number. Plus, I mean, everything Virginia just said right there kind of points to that they're not on the side of marijuana at all.
I never mind facts, stats. I don't if they're accurate and they're true and there's no agenda
Good
behind
luck
it.
finding those.
I thought
It's
numbers
tough.
Everybody's got a damn
I thought
agenda.
fucking numbers weren't hard. I mean, I hear you. No, I get it. I hear what you're saying.
It just sucks. The same study can be done by two different groups with two different connotations to them. They kind of lead you with their, it becomes biased, unfortunately.
It's absolutely a bias based on your agenda politically.
That's why I'm never a fan of focus groups. Like, a lot of any of those kind of studies where I don't know how they're doing it, and even if they tell you how they're doing it, I don't know if I believe you.
Well, you just can't take it as an end-all, be-all
Exactly.
because it's just a focus group. That group could be done 5 different times in 5 different periods of time and have 5 different results.
Totally.
It all depends.
Boy, did the dirty hippies get heated in here.
Yeah, Kevin.
The hippie's ready to scrap.
My boy needs to smoke now to calm down. Look how angry he
geez.
is.
Getting some psychosis.
Let's drive to this Hudson Institute.
Psychosis. Now you're going to get a 10-page manifesto from somebody. The psychosis is real.
I'm sure it is. I think it's got to be a small percentage because I know a lot of potheads that just don't have it, and I think they've tried to at least achieve it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the one stat they said, I didn't know if you'd heard, they said beginning in 2016, Colorado was the only state with the highest rate of consumption for all 4 of the major intoxicants: marijuana, cocaine, alcohol, and opioids.
Party time.
Yeah.
Denny's like, party.
Hey, have you been to Boulder? It goes off, and they love cocaine out there. I'm not even kidding. It's probably the
Boulders?
Weirdly, they legalized marijuana, but cocaine was the #1 drug out there.
They love boulders.
They love EDM and cocaine.
They love boulders of coke.
They say that they did have dispensaries with some forms of marijuana with THC levels as high as 90%. They said that was substantially increasing the risk of cannabis-induced psychosis. So the state has responded by passing a bill that will limit purchases of high-potency marijuana down to only a fifth of the current level.
They were trying to do that in Florida, too, with the medical.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
They were trying to lower the THC levels.
Okay.
I hate to say it, and of course I'm a little biased. It just sounds kind of like a hit piece.
Yeah. Okay.
It does.
I'm glad that
I was waiting for you guys to speak up.
Yeah, I don't
Instead
know.
of just Bird and I.
I don't know.
It's kind of hard when me and Denny's are the ones. It's a hit piece.
Everybody's got an agenda, especially a political group out of Washington, D.C. that goes on record as conservative.
Well, that was something I never even thought about back in the day. Whether I watched a documentary or if there was a story that comes out. Now, the last 3 or 4 years, you hear us ask, where did it come from? Who's funding it? What's the source? Because you're right. I think everyone does have an agenda. I used to think documentaries were the end-all, be-all. Fuck no. It's just someone's opinion.
agenda.
Someone's opinion.
I would think the one thing about the one stat that they have that traffic deaths have increased 24% since they legalized recreational marijuana, that would be an easy one that should be a black and white cut dry.
It's not, though.
Based on what the state keeps record as people who have died on the roads, correct?
Not really, because people you could lump in the pot people. Let's say I was on pot, but I also was doing opiates and I was drinking. You're still going to get credit for that pot death, even though the opiates and the drunkenness could have also been a factor as well. Now, I am not at all saying you should smoke weed and drive a car. In fact, that's not. You should not do that. But when they do those kind of studies, it's kind of like the COVID thing. People are dying of a heart attack, and they also had COVID, and they would mark it up as a COVID death. How'd I do, Denny's?
It was great. It was great.
Right.
You hit all the points.
Am I close?
Did I do okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just the kind of stuff that you'll see. And so sorting out true facts from what is not, I'm sure that as they debate whether or not to legalize in the state of Florida, the people who are against it will bring in those kind of numbers. And so if they're, bullshit, you got to find a way to shine light and say, no, you manipulated the amount of traffic deaths. It's not a 24% increase, and show why and how.
I think I just kind of nailed it, Denny's.
Marijuana's kind of tough to gauge, too, in your system because it stays in your system forever. So if you're a regular user, say you didn't even smoke that day and you got in an accident, it's probably going to get categorized as you're a marijuana user who was in an accident, thus in that stat.
And you're still able to drive too. You're not. It's not that at that point. If you smoked last night and you wanted to drive today, you could smoke, but you would still. They may count that as a pot related fatality
for sure.
Yeah, that's why I was really curious when my daughter told me her friend got that diagnosis as to why she had felt like crap and had the stomach pains for 2 whole days. Like, what kind of conversation did she have to go through with that her doctor comes up with that diagnosis of that's what's wrong with her?
Maybe she ate some bad crawfish, Kev.
Yeah.
Or that lady like sausage and White Russians.
Yeah. What kind of food did she eat? I'd be curious about all that.
Yeah, we find out that she went to a barbecue party and had just barbecue pork for 2 days straight.
Ribs that had been sitting out at the barbecue for hours.
Flies are on them.
Can't imagine why my uterus hurts.
Yeah.
You don't have a uterus, boo.
No, I'm saying her in this scenario. I don't know. You're right. I don't have girl parts. I don't know.
You might, actually. If anybody has one, it's you.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, there we go. There's the fucking mean friend of mine.
Good times, huh?
Oh, damn! She shut down
Oh, Kevin was going to go longer, but he stopped it.
because you're fucking so mean.
You get Friday. You get your weekend earlier. You should be thanking me, grumpy Jesus.
All right, y'all. Thanks for sending in those emails. Mail at kvjshow.com. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.